What's going on? Kevin Holt here, BallHer Hoops. We're back with another episode. Got Coach Gibson here and Coach Anthony George. We're here to talk about basketball, girls basketball in particular. How y'all doing, fellas?
Pretty good, man. How you?
I'm pretty
Good, Coach.
man. I can't complain. Good week of basketball. Really 2 weeks of basketball that we've gotten to witness. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the games of the week from this past week. We're going to start with you, Coach George.
Yep. So I was able to catch the Cuthbertson versus Freedom game. It was both teams' opening game. Game was in Waxhaw, North Carolina at Cuthbertson High School. Started off really, really well for Cuthbertson, the home team. They got up to a really nice run in the first quarter. 2027's Christian Mundy and Christian Johnson really led the way. Christian Johnson was on fire in the first half, making a lot of plays for herself and her team. They're competing at a high level. They got 5 kids that could play on that team this year. So, I think as the season goes on and they figure out how to work with each other, I think it's going to be better. But they had a really, really good start, and the Johnson kid played exceptionally well. 26 for Freedom, Cynthia Caldwell had an excellent game. She was getting to the basket, making it hard for Cuthbertson to kind of, set their defense up. She was getting downhill, making plays for herself and her team. She got to the free throw line pretty frequently. And I thought like she was giving them fits. I thought Cuthbertson did a really good job kind of like adjusting and guarding her. They kind of extended their little man-to-man out where they played off of everyone else, but kind of really face guarded her. And Christian Johnson did a really, really good job of taking her out of the game and getting her out of where she was comfortable. And I'm really, really, really impressed with their 2029 at Cuthbertson, Ella Coleman. The stat sheet probably wouldn't show how effective she is, but she's a legitimate 6-foot guard, can rebound, can shoot, can score, was around the paint, around shots, starting breaks as a freshman with that team, those leaders. I think when they figure it out, it's going to be really, really good. But, I thought Freedom did a really, really good job of holding their composure. I never really got it. They didn't let it get out of hand too bad either half. And I love their bench energy. Their coaches do a really, really good job. But it was a really good first game for Cuthbertson, and I'm just excited. I think that, like I said, that we talked about that conference in our last episode. There's some really good basketball players and some really good teams, and Cuthbertson's going to be a tough out this year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that Cuthbertson teams. Both of the Christians I've watched them probably since like middle school age, and to see their growth and the way that I think they can lead that Cuthbertson team to a good finish. I mean, I don't know if it's state championship, but I know that they can compete with a lot of teams in the area. So it'll be a good season for them.
Sure. I like I said, you're going to get better by playing those teams in your conference. I think, they have a slate this weekend. They're actually playing next Saturday at the Spectrum Center against Pine Lake. So that'll be a good experience for that program and that team. Coach Featherstone's really excited about that. And I think it's going to be one of those seasons where if they figure it out and, things happen, they could find themselves on top of that if they just play well and play together.
Right. I agree. All right, Coach Gibson, you had your game of the week. What was it?
Last week's RGK South Mac matchup. It was a great game. It went into overtime. It had everything a rivalry is supposed to have. They had the intensity. They had the fans. They had both teams playing at a high level. They had controversy. They had a little bit of everything on. And I think it just made it all that more exciting, almost a shame that they want to play each other 2 to 3 times. But I think it was a tale of two halves. I think both coaches got an opportunity to show their grips on their team in this early season. RGK really dominated the first half. South Mac made some great adjustments, dominated the second half. And then overtime was dominated by a little bit of controversy. It's just a lot. So it was just an awesome game to see, man. I was glad to see like the fans in the building for opening night. It was great that when that game came on, you could actually see it was already packed and nowhere to sit. So it was just a great environment for those young ladies. And I rewatched it. Wish I could have been there, man. It was at another game, but definitely was everything it was worth, man. Definitely a ticket seller, man. So that was the game I had. Like I say, all the stars in it came to play. I mean, just all the kids had a great opening night. Didn't see a lot of nerves. They were all pretty consistent as far as what we've seen with these kids over the summer and coming into the fall. So I was really impressed with both programs. Both teams executed well. Like I say, South Mech's adjustment being down 10 majority of the game, second half was impressive. And, all the way around, man, I think it was a pretty good game, man, pretty good choice for us.
I agree. I watched a little bit of that game. I was one of the ones that was wondering how Imani and Autumn would kind of work together, and they just be more athletic than everybody else. That's basically what their game is right now. They're sharing the ball. Autumn's doing a good job of sometimes handling that pressure, being a lead guard in a sense for Arjikel. And Imani's doing all the dirty work, in my opinion. She finishing around the rim, going after rebounds, blocking shots. Like you said, there was a little controversy in that game. I saw the play that they ejected Nakira out for. I don't think she should have been ejected. I watched it over and over again. I don't think she did anything intentionally. Just knowing the type of person she is, I don't think
Right.
that was her intentions. So bad situation that led to, you never know what would have happened in the game. They were up by 4 at that point. So you never really know what could have happened in that game, but it's unfortunate.
I think it's going to be a great learning point, though, for a great kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Having something like that happen early to you, when you're at that level, these are all lessons. So it's like,
Sure.
I think that's going to be something that can carry them way deep in the playoffs. And it definitely spoke volumes for just 8A basketball and what it's going to look like during that playoff time. I mean, if they started the season like this, it's just one game. But I was super impressed at the level that both teams played on opening night in a rivalry game. Like, super impressive to see that kind of just mental fortitude for both groups to come out. Yeah, like you say, unfortunate situation that the kid got ejected. Definitely changed the whole, how the game was flowing in the moment. But I think it's something that both teams really can go and learn from. Both teams can learn from that moment.
For sure. All right, so the game I had of the week was Cannon versus Concord Academy. Just being in the private school sector, this was probably the most packed game I've ever seen. Especially at Cannon, there was no seats left. There was standing room only. Great atmosphere for the young ladies involved, and I think the stars starred. Justice ended up with 24 points. I think Maddie had 18 or something like that. Cannon, it was a close game. The first half, I think third quarter, Cannon kind of took it away. War on Justice. I think she's such an amazing player. One of the things that not really surprises me, but I just marvel at is the fact that she doesn't get out of her spot. Like, she sits on that post sometimes and you're not moving her. She's going to get the ball in that spot and you're going to have to make her work for the shot, but she gets you up in the air, she gets free throws. So that was big for me. But overall game was really good, high intensity. You could tell teams wanted to play against each other. It was just an intense rival. I love rivalry games. I think that's a rivalry that was old, but it's coming back. And if those teams can continue at the level that they are, both teams should be state championship type teams, be contenders for it. But team of the week, I'm going to go ahead and start it with my team of the week. I had Gaston Christian. Gaston Christian undefeated, beat Cannon, then beat Greensboro Day. Then they played another team, I think, from Tennessee or somewhere like that. Still undefeated. Shout out to the coach over there. I don't know his name, but he's been doing a really good job with his team. He's giving them social media. He's got them on YouTube. He's getting girls looks. Jakira Sadler is a great point guard. She's been really solid for them. Sally Briss has been a good shooter. But the bigs, I think, are their best attribute. You look at Brooklyn Twitty and Happy Arune, they've been holding it down in the inside, and they're able to guard outside as well. They do a really good job of doing what they're supposed to do. So that's why they're my team of the week. Who'd you have, Coach George?
Yeah, so I'm going to go back with Cuthbertson. I talked a little bit about them earlier. I got to cover that whole game and just really, really excited about what they can do and how they can play at the next level. I also caught some of the Weddington versus Cox Mill game, and I think Weddington played really, really well as well. They had a good season last year. They've added a lot of good 29s that are going to help their team. As far as, watching them improve, the sky's the limit. They got a lot of good players, good coaching staff, some junior and senior leadership on that group. But yeah, Weddington and Cuthbertson are my two teams of the week. And from the games that I caught up and watched, I really like where they're headed. And it's early in the season, so watching them play this level, this early, it's good stuff to see. I think Coach Gibson made a really good point. Being the first game and having to play this high, you could see these girls were working in the fall. They were working all summer. So, this is just the first step. Let's see through Christmas. Let's see through the rest of the season kind of how this could go. But just really excited about the level of high school girls basketball this season.
I saw that you said Culbertson had 5 freshmen on the court at one time in one of your posts.
That was Weddington.
Weddington.
Weddington. Yeah, Weddington.
That's scary. That's
2029s, all exceptional athletes, multi-sport kids, but they could really, really play. And I think some will have a really good chance to play at the next level, like a really high level of basketball too. So.
Love that. What about you, Coach?
He actually took it right out of my mouth. I watched Weddington a lot. I watched that game just simply because you guys brought it to my attention. They were going to be really good. So to see that game open tonight, they were really good. They played a senior group and they played a senior junior group that had the experience, had some varsity experience, and really showed up. I also like RGKL as our team of the week. And I just think they've had a lot of adversity leading up to this point for a group that never really played together with, Autumn in the mix as well. And just a game of such a magnitude, everybody knows they're rivals since basically RGKL opened up, they've been at rivals, you know what I mean? And so that was my team of the week, man, seeing how they came through. I had the mental fortitude to finish that game, man, and pull off that win on opening night.
Okay. So now we go to this week. A lot of big games this week. I think it should be an exciting week of basketball. I'll let you start it, Coach George. Give me your 2 games of the week for this coming week.
This week, another great round of matchups, and I think local matchups that are really, really good. So the first one is Tuesday night with Marvin Ridge and Mallard Creek. I think these are 2 of the best teams in the city. I think they're facing off at a time where they're still trying to figure each other out, how they're going to play, what they're going to do. One thing that I think Marvin Ridge has done this year is put a really good non-conference schedule together to really prepare.
Sorry to cut you off, but I looked at their schedule. They are not ducking any smoke.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's what I think might have hurt them a little bit last year. I think this year they put together a really good non-conference schedule. It's going to prepare them. They have the pieces to win. Elite 8 finalists last year, led by the 2026 Kate Schindler, who's going to Richmond commit. Super excited to watch that game, but Mallard Creek is loaded. Mallard Creek has got every position pretty much handled with Kiki Anderson and Camry Hobbs leading the way there. I think that is a early season matchup that if you can get to that building and watch it, I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be a tester for Marvin Ridge, and I also think Mallory Creek is trying to figure out how they're going to play. Obviously, with Ed Cameron, and see what they want to do there. But really, really excited. Two of the better teams in Charlotte going up in the first week is really awesome. That's my first game. My second game of the week is going to be that Providence Porter Ridge game. High level prospects on both sides of both teams. Obviously we got Porter Ridge has 26 Drexel commit Miley Malcolm, along with one of the best 2020 sevens in the country, Ashanti Taylor. I think their guard play and their athleticism is going to give Providence a little bit of a tough time, but I think what Providence does is they try their best to take care of the ball, and they look to get the ball inside, and I think that's kind of Achilles heel for Porter Ridge too. It's guarding the post. Obviously with 6'4" Emma Fuller on Providence, you got to give them a puncher's chance. The guard play is going to be exceptional, obviously, for Porter Ridge. The tempo, how they play, obviously, you got to see both of those teams at the Providence State Super Scrimmage, and I think they're both ready to have a good season. But yeah, those two games are my games of the week. Really high level prospects, all four teams, good coaching. You can't ask for much more this first or second week of the season.
I agree, Coach. Those are two really good games. I think they'll be exciting to see. Coach Gibson, what about your games of the week?
I'm going. I like the North Macon North Lincoln game, man. It's gonna be a barn burner. I think it's gonna be a really good game. Lydia Capriano, the Reese Birch kid, Allison Black. I think they're gonna match up pretty well against North Mac. I just think it's gonna be a really good game all the way around with some young kids that can play in North Mac's season group. And their youngster Autumn Lacey as well. So I just think that game is going to be really exciting. I think it's on a Saturday, so a lot of people should really get out there and try to see that game. I think that's going to be really one to go see.
I'm excited about that game as well. I think that's going to be a really good one. My game of the week would be Concord Academy versus Providence Day. 3A Power and Private School versus 4A Power and Private School. Now, the shocking thing is Justice just was in a boot this last week after the Cannon game, and Jada didn't play for Providence Day. I've heard rumors that she had a foot injury. Don't know how true it is, but if both of those players aren't playing, then it's a whole nother game for both teams. I mean, I saw how Concord Academy played without Justice, what's her name? The sophomore that transferred from
Jada Powell.
Jada Powell was phenomenal versus Country Day. GA was phenomenal versus Victory Christian. So you still got the star power there. Taylor Smith is the sound point guard for Concord Academy. You know she's going to do her job. So I want to know how, if the injuries do impact the game, how the teams respond. And this one isn't a Charlotte area game, but I really like it. Northern Guilford versus T.W. Andrews. Both solid programs. Lena McPhail is a star in her own right. And then the size at T.W. Andrews is amazing. I don't know if you guys seen T.W. Andrews before, but
I've definitely seen them, man. I think they're contenders.
Yes, for sure.
They're good.
They're huge. Like you're talking about a college front line pretty much. You're looking at 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", and then off the bench you still got 6'2", 6'3s, and they're just coming. Now their guard play it still needs some work, but I think they're a solid team. And then with Lena McPhail, and they have a freshman over there. I don't know her name. Just saw a couple clips of her. That's pretty solid. But Lena McPhail is a really good guard that can get her team going in the right direction. I think that's a really good game that's outside of the Charlotte area. But other than that, coaches, it's going to be a great week of basketball. I hope to see some of y'all out there. Look forward to the Fire 25 next weekend. We're going to knock that out with a new Fire 25. wanted to give teams a chance to play. I think a lot of teams still haven't even played yet, so we want to give everybody a chance to play before we make a whole new list. So I definitely look forward to a new number one. I think Lake Norman should hold that title right now, and North Mex should be a close second to me. But that's why the games are played, and we look forward to knocking out that new ranking. So I appreciate you fellas. Thank y'all for being here with us. Hope everybody gets a chance to watch. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Coach.